Hello and welcome to the world of shadows. I am Afsana, and today I am going to share with you a story. First, let's go to the story and not waste any time. And then I'll share a little bit about my background, and we are going to set some questions and some examples, and then we will go from there and start this journey together. So, our first story is about when I was a very young girl, and I used to ask my grandparents, especially my grandma, from my dad's side. I used to call her Dadi. That, can you tell me a story about jinns? And my grandma would tell me a story. And this is the only story they would tell me. Every time I asked them about a story, they would continuously repeat this story. So this was the story they told me. There was a family, and as normal family is, the mother in the family, the woman, that's our main character, she used to cook in the kitchen and have her 1.5-year-old, or you can say 2-year-old, little baby play in the kitchen with vegetables and while she cooked, the baby played. And there used to be a stray cat, a baby cat, white colored, used to come and play with the baby. And while the baby cat came, the kitten, the mother used to give the baby cat milk or fish to eat. The baby cat would eat and play and sleep and then leave. It happened every single day. One day, the mother, the main character, she wasn't there. And her servant, let me tell you, in South Asian families and households, we usually keep servants or helpers. It could be a younger boy or a younger girl that helps us in the kitchen or the household. And it's a normal thing. So they had one young girl, about like 15, 16-year-old, help them in the kitchen. So what the young girl did when she was cutting something, it could be some vegetable or fish, she saw the cat come in. And what she did was, she told the cat, shoo, shoo, don't come. But the baby cat, as usual, came in anyways, and he threw a knife at the cat. And the knife went and hit the baby cat's paw. What happened was the baby cat was injured and started bleeding. So the mother, the woman, she came in the kitchen and she saw the incident, and she scolded the servant saying, why did you do it? The baby cat just comes every day and plays with the child, and like usually just give the baby cat some milk and fish, and the cat would just, leave. So she scolded, and then she ripped her sari. It's an Indian attire that South Asian women wear. She ripped it and she tied the cat like a band-aid around the paw, and then gave the baby cat some milk. The kitten, I mean, some milk. And the kitten had the milk and then left. And the kitten didn't come back for a few days. And all of a sudden, one day, a carriage in white horses arrived at their doorstep, and came out a beautiful woman wearing a very expensive clothes and jewelry. She came and greeted herself as a neighbor and invited the whole family to a birthday party that she was having after a few days. And she was very friendly and everything. So the family agreed to go, and she said she would send a ride, because back then there weren't cars. There were just, I believe my grandma said, horse carriages that came, and people would ride those. So anyways, after several days passed, the carriage came, and the family with the servant and the baby, all of them went to the birthday party. So what was happening was, while they were in the carriage, they were so excited to go to the birthday party. It was going to take a few minutes, but what happened was the carriage was taking forever. It kept going and going and going and going and going. And they were like, where are we going? Then all of a sudden, the mother looked out of the window of the carriage and saw they were floating in the air. There were clouds all over, or fog. So they were like confused what's going on. So then the carriage went and stopped at a big mansion. They just thought maybe it was too foggy. It wasn't clouds. They were just hallucinating maybe. They're crazy. How can it be that the carriage was flying? It's not possible. Anyway, so they went. And the whole family came and greeted them. It was a huge mansion. They took a look around. They ate. They feasted. They had fun. And then the woman that invited them said, let's show you the house. So the mother, the woman that worked in the kitchen, she went with them and looked around the whole house. And the woman that invited them at the party, the birthday party, took them to see her son. Said, come, my son, he wasn't feeling very well, so he's sleeping, so I'll show you. Come, this is his room. So they all went, and they saw a little baby in a carriage, in a small baby cot, like carriage-like cot, sleeping. And the mother, the woman, the main character, she saw that the child had her sari, ripped out sari, wrapped around one of his arms. And she knew right away there's something wrong. Because how can the child have the same part of the sari wrapped around the arm that she tied to the baby cat a few days ago? And her face went blank. And that's when the mother of that child said, we are very thankful to you. Whenever my child goes to your place, you take care of him, you feed him, you're very nice to him. So it's okay. We appreciate your help. And you may go, but please leave your servant girl behind. Thank you for coming. So they left. They all left. They all went to the carriage. And the carriage took them back. It went flying again, like how it came. It was in the clouds. And while they were in the clouds, they could hear the servant girl screaming. Because of what was happening, you can all guess. They had to leave her behind. So, that's the story my grandmother told me. And she said it was a true story. Now the question here is, are you ready? Is it a true story? Can this really have happened? Is it possible? We hear a lot of stories like this. I have a lot of stories like this. I have seen a lot of stories like this. But is it true or is it false? Let's figure it out together. So my podcast, this podcast, The World of Shadows, is all about exploring the paranormal, supernatural, or whatever weird stories you may have. You may call weird, you may call facts, it's okay. But we will explore this because this story took place in South Asia. There may be a lot of stories from the West. There may be a lot of stories in the East. There may be a lot of stories in the North. So let's all talk about it together and let's all figure it out together. So if you have a story for me, please send it to my direction. I will put a link of my email below. And I will also put a link to my Instagram page, my YouTube page, and you guys can get in touch with me there. But mostly try to send me an email, and I will try my best to reply. I am sure you guys would love to hear more stories and share more stories with me. And these are just not stories, these are facts. Okay, now let me tell you a little bit about me. I belong to a family line where there are lots of stories about jinns, lots of stories about healing, and there's lots of stories about the unseen world. And I've also experienced a lot of them. You guys can check out my bio. And I'm not going to go into detail on this podcast about it, but I belong to a world that has seen a lot of things. And I do believe in a lot of things. And I'm going to explore and talk about a lot of things in here. And I'm going to try to have guests that come in and talk about their experiences as well in this podcast. And so let's get started, guys, with the world of shadows. This is your host, Afsana, and I am going to sign off now. Thank you for listening. It is a small one, and hopefully will increase in time. But I hope you enjoyed my story, and if you did, please leave a comment. Thank you for listening. Have a wonderful, wonderful day, night, evening, wherever you're listening to this from. And I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you enjoy all the other podcasts we're about to release. I'm about to release, But I said we because I'm going to be incomplete without all of you. So I need all of you with me too. Have a wonderful, blessed day and night.